to have the agenda amended to add the apprentice extension request for a Rachel Emard. I need a roll call vote. She needs the extension due to as far as she gave birth to the child. She has her last option, so she needs the extension so she can get one more option.
Second.
Roll call.
Yes, Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Jacobs?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
And you were voting to amend the agenda, Mr. Hill, yes?
I'm going to, it's going to be right between 3 and 4. So I have to do it.
Rachel Emard, E-Y-M-A-R-D.
Mr. Chairman.
Sure. We got there yet. Go for it.
Okay. Also, while you're amending the agenda, I would also ask that you grant amendment of the agenda to move me behind Missouri Officer School.
Oh, okay. That was me. I'd like you to go first so you can lead. That's up to the chair.
You're not adding something, you're just changing the order.
Just changing the order.
Do we need a motion to do that?
Put her.
Yeah, we're going to make a motion to amend the second to the last one. That one motion. Motion.
What was it? I didn't-
To move the agenda instead of under agenda item number 5, it wants to be listed as number 2, not number 1. Flip flop with Missouri.
I don't know, what's the reason for that? I moved up to not amending the agenda, leave it like it is.
I mean, it doesn't really require much, you know, to just take up things out of order. Yeah, it's not adding anything for you.
So do you want to amend the motion?
Y'all make the decision.
I'm not for it, but
Yes, it'd have to be unanimous to amend the agenda.
I don't care. I don't see the problem with it being moved. So,
I would have to see the one way or the other. We don't have to amend the agenda, right?
it's my decision with the vote.
Yours?
You can go ahead and make the decision.
Let's change it. He's been moved. All right. Now we are to a public comment on today's agenda. Anybody in the public who wants to comment on the agenda? All right, next item will be approval of the minutes from the September 10th, 2018 meeting.
I moved up the minutes be approved.
Second.
Favor? Need to discuss anything? Anybody opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is going to be the attorney report, investigative report. Executive session, do you need
I
executive
need
session?
executive session pursuant to the statute of the agenda, all of them 4217A1, A4, and A10.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Hill? Ms. Jacobs?
Yeah.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
All right, we're in executive session.
Roll call.
Yes, Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Hill? Ms. Jacobs?
Yes.
Mr. Lockett?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yep.
All right, we're back in session.
Pass.
Okay, hold on, please.
All right.
Hold on.
Do we need to do that again, or did you get it?
What, the,
The roll
They went
call?
up
no,
here.
I didn't get it.
You didn't
Do it
get
again.
No.
Want to do it
Motion to
again?
come out of executive session.
So moved.
I second.
Roll call.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Jacobs?
Yes.
Mr. Lockett?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Okay, we're back in
Motion
session.
passes. All right, the next item on the agenda is tested auctioneer.
Sorry, sir. The Brown complainant
I move that we close out Jacob Brown claim.
Let me
Sorry.
make a presentation first, so that everybody's aware of what we're doing. With regard to the hearings against Jacob Brown, including the one last meeting and the ones before, we have 4 individuals or companies who have filed claims. We notified the bonding company for Jacob Brown and Brown's auction that those findings have been made and not appealed. As shortly thereafter, they provided the full payment of $10,000 to the board. As you know, all bonds are payable to the board. Those are paid directly to the board. I'm asking the board today to make payments in the following amounts to the 4 complainants who were found to be due that money. Those complainants are Donnie Campbell in the amount of $345. He has agreed to that. The next one is Fred James in the amount of $735, and he has agreed to that through his attorney. With regard to Transcan, a company who was found to be due money from Jacob Brown, they have agreed to the amount of $1,920, as well as the state of Louisiana has agreed to the payment of $7,000 for payment from the board for the amount due to them. These amounts are prorated for the total amount of $10,000. I would ask the board to approve payments of the bond to these individuals on receipt of a signed release from those parties agreeing to the amount and releasing the board from any further liability.
I'd like to make a motion that the board approve the payments to those people who have requested payment as indicated in the conference today.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Think
further
we all
discussion?
vote no this.
Any other further discussion? All right, roll call.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Ms. Jacobs?
Yes.
Mr. Lockett?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yes. All right, now we go to tested applicant, auctioneer applicant, Mr. David Smith.
Yes, and he's requesting his license be effective today, as opposed to January 1st, which is the next.
Everything's in?
Yes, sir, everything's in.
Move that you be granted a license.
And I'll second.
Further discussion on Mr. Smith? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. The next one's gonna be for reciprocal auctioneer applicants. Mr. Luke Mobley.
Where's Mr. Mobley from?
He's from Arkansas, and he's requesting his license be effective January 1st.
Everything in?
Yes, sir.
Move that you be granted.
And I'll second.
Any further discussion on Mr. Mobley? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passes. The next one's gonna be the amended item of the apprentice extension from Miss Rachel E. March.
I move that your extension be granted.
And I'll second.
Any further discussion on that? All those in favor? Any opposition? Motion passes. The next item will be the approval of the financials.
I move that the financials be approved as listed in the report to the committee.
I say.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. The next one will be distant learning school approvals for auctioneer education. I have a request to move flip-flop bets in Missouri Auto Auction. Will be number
Why have we got this title, Bruce?
because that's essentially what it is. I mean, it's
Are we gonna have discussion on it now?
Yeah,
Mr.
you
Chairman?
know, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've
It's
got.
Missouri Auto Auction School's
Yeah.
on the board.
On the Missouri Auction School, number one,
Yeah, you can say options.
Sorry.
I mean, I've looked at that, and they said that they would be reciprocal with us, but I'm against that. Number one, we don't have any laws in Louisiana which actually sanction auctioneer schools by video. And I think that that would have to be passed by the legislature. Second of all, I don't like the idea of long-distance teaching. I think certainly if the Missouri Auction School would want to offer continuing education, if in fact we have that again, and I believe that might be up this year for consideration, I would have no objection to that, having some of these courses placed on the internet where we come and we pay to be educated by. But I would be against the school being licensed to do their whole program by videotape.
Can you make that as a motion? Or you just discuss?
No,
This is
that's my discussion. I did quite a lot of research and I got all the information, not only on this, but on Mr. Phillips' school, because I wanted to give everybody a fair chance on this. And that's just the way I feel. Where are the laws in Louisiana that sanction? I could find none.
No, but the auctioneer, once he's got a license, would be sanctioned, I mean, he'd be, adhere to our rules and policies, so I mean.
But the school, to have a school by video, where people are caught by videotape on the internet, I think that would be legislative approval. I think that would have to be approved by the legislature. I don't think you can just come out and give every Tom, Dick, and Harry a license to go have a school to teach people.
Just because they teach online?
Huh?
Just because it's an online version?
Because it's online,
I don't
yeah.
know anybody you can get free online, period, paragraph, and you
Right.
get some stuff that goes toward
A degree for
or
like a
whatever,
BA, MBA?
anything.
I know, sir, I can get an MBA fully online right now. I'm actually about to enter.
In most
That's
cases,
incorrect.
as it relates to distance education, there is a residency component that comes into play. So you can do the majority of your classes, whether it's a fall or a spring, online, but at some point in time in the summer, you actually have, whether it's the summer or wherever, you actually have to go to that place for however many hours. You have to have so many hours
You can't do it.
before you can just graduate. So it's not, so it's a hybrid type of situation. However, still the majority of instruction goes primarily online.
I would have no objection to having continuing education.
Well, that's
Although,
already called for the state of Texas.
And, yeah, but to actually have a school where we would want to have reciprocity with other states, I think it would be a problem. And in fact, I did receive from the board a list of schools who said that they, who asked whether or not they would consider online reciprocity. And based upon the list that I received, only Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia said that they would do it. So, I would like to open it up for discussion by any other board members, and other than that, with regard to the Missouri Auctioneer School, I'd ask for a vote.
I mean, everything that I'm involved in as far as education, even selling online, whatever the case may be, is migrating to be online, period. So it's either, I mean, what do we keep delaying for? If not, we need to push the ball forward to where we're getting to the point where we can vote on this and vote yes for it and get it going, because this is going to be the future. I know we work in a unique trade where it does take physical, I hate to use the word touch, but I mean, it needs interaction person to person. But at the same time, if the person is teaching correctly online, what does that matter when he comes back to the state and is able to pass our licensing test with flying colors? To me, I mean, I disagree. I mean, I don't see a problem with anything being educated online.
Okay,
As far as
and
that.
it may come to that, but
It
I'm
may
thinking,
come to that,
we're
but
not
if
there
the
yet.
laws are changed, I'm not gonna go for it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. My people are against it.
I'm not trying to lobby. I'm just.
I know, Jacob, I understand how you feel, and quite frankly, I don't blame you the way you feel. I know it's going in that
What
direction.
laws need to be changed though?
You're going to change the state licensing statute to do it, because it has nothing to do with online teaching. It says you must attend an accredited auction school.
So by voting it in, wouldn't it be an accredited auction school?
We
And
can't
by the
vote it in the
legislature, not by
legislature.
us. The legislature's got to do it. The internet didn't even
That's what I'm saying,
exist when this
but by
law.
approving the school, would it not get it
No,
there?
No, you gotta have to get.
you gotta get the legislative approval. This law was done before there ever was an internet.
I'm not,
You might not agree with it,
No,
go
I'm
get
not.
your attorney general's opinion, Mark.
But Terry's got something to say.
No, I was just gonna ask, I mean, what is the steps to becoming an accredited school? Is it just strictly through legislative intent, or is it some association?
They can apply and the curriculum is submitted to this board, the curriculum is approved. Most schools have 85 to 90 hours of online, in-person class attended, one-on-one teaching. And that's the way it's in the law here in this state now. It says you must attend an accredited auction school, in person, not online. The internet and online didn't even exist when this law was written. I understand the law's out of date, I'm not arguing that. But until the legislature changes the law and allows it, can't do it.
Okay, and let me give you an example. For instance, I was interested in internet auction sales, which some people are doing now, even though we don't have the law. And I have given everybody a copy of what my proposal is, and I've given it to Terry. But that doesn't mean that it automatically passes if the board would approve it. It has to go through the legislature to get approval.
so you tell me every auction school, correct me if I'm wrong, every auction school that comes together wants to say, I want to open an auction school, Jacob Warren's School of Auctioneering. I come to this board, submit it, then I have to go to another to get accredited? Is that what we're saying?
I think you said you gotta
I
get.
mean, if that's the case, I misunderstood.
No, because Louisiana law doesn't recognize it yet. You'd have to go to the legislature to get approval.
But I'm talking about a physical classroom, not online,
You
just
mean
a
with
school.
the statute, our
Yes,
statute, it
yes.
says specifically that anyone who wants to be an auctioneer must complete a series of studies at a school of auctioneering licensed or approved by the board. Period. That's it. Y'all have,
I don't see
basically,
where the online portion.
there's been nothing saying it has to be in person or online.
No, sir, that's not on my agenda, the one you on, but I
You're
don't see.
gonna be out there at the state.
That's, I mean, I don't understand how, I could be that way just for trying to progress us to the future. I mean, this is an opportunity for Louisiana to be first in something instead of last in every other thing.
Amen. Legislature meets in March.
I don't see why we have to go to the legislature. And after this meeting, I have no problem looking into that and calling and talking, and I would gladly do that. But I don't, right now, I'm not being sold on the fact that we need to go to that.
I already talked to somebody, it's got to go to the legislature. I mean, we play all the games we want to play with, if we go through that legislature, it's gonna be illegal. I've been told flat out it's gonna be illegal. I mean, whatever. I didn't write the law, I wasn't around when the law was wrote.
And I think a lot of other people should be consulted, like the Louisiana Association of Professional Auctioneers, most of us belong to that, and I want to see what they have to say about that, not just what us as board members would have to say about it. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Joe.
no, I was just gonna say, clearly, we are, because I see where our thoughts are on this. I wouldn't want to deny the auction school, but I would say we could table it until, if possible, to table it until January to do the further due diligence, because what I'm thinking that might satisfy both sides of the issue is where it falls under distance education and how that's related. Because if you will accept CEUs given online, then, and there are private, public universities who provide whole courses online, and then you have the for-profit universities, which a number of people go to because it's online, because of work schedules, and those are accepted, you know, because they're accredited by SACS or whomever, then there has to be a way that isn't necessarily so labor intensive that we can find an amenable solution to moving forward on this. And so I would offer at the appropriate time, just a motion to table this until January.
Okay,
If that's the way.
okay, I have something else to say with regard to Missouri. Missouri is not a civil law state. Louisiana is a civil law state. And I have problems with a common law state teaching civil law to people in Louisiana when they don't really understand the concepts. I have problems with that. And I think anybody else would have a problem with that too. What if someone does something and they're relying on what they were taught by a common law system and they do something wrong? What are they going to tell the judge? Oh, my common law professor told me that, and that's the way it should be.
The Missouri Auction School, is it not an accredited school?
It is certified by Missouri.
Yeah, for us to go there.
But with us?
Yes.
With
Right.
us.
Okay. So if the same curriculum, same material, same instructors, everything's online, what changes? How does that change? If
Because
they're
if you
teaching the
sit in
same
a class,
thing.
you can ask them whether or not this is a civil law.
If that's the case, you need to tell the owner of my business he's not allowed to have a doctorate that's hanging on his wall because it was completely 100% online.
Well, you know,
I'm
I'm
not
against
going
it.
to boss you.
No, I'm just using it as an
Frankly,
example.
I don't give a damn, but when it comes to this,
I
I'll
think
tell
this
you
is an
this.
important step.
I'm not picking
For
on
us,
Robert
this is
Craig.
very important.
But we're
I don't
talking about
think
Missouri
we-
Auction School right now.
Well,
Right
this
now,
is
this-
very important, that I don't think we can let this thing pass without having commentary from other people that may be affected in the state. Particularly if you want to be
I know this
you want to have reciprocity. I have reciprocity with Mississippi. It took me 2 years to get that reciprocity. 2 years.
But the reciprocity is only going to be affected by those who attend these schools where they don't accept the reciprocal license.
And there's only 4 now that will accept it, according to the information.
And that's on
I
these
got.
schools. If they want to teach and limit their students to that, that's on them.
I have a problem with it.
I think going down the road eventually, I think everyone will be accepted. I think it'll be.
And it may be in 5 or 6 years, but I don't think it's there now.
Let me say this. The Missouri School Auctioneer, I did not go to school there. But I'm very well familiar with the man that ran that school. For 25 years, I knew personally before he died, and that was Dick DeWeese. Dick DeWeese had anywhere from 9 to 20 instructors in that 2-week period of time that came in and taught you specialty, auctioneering, and various things. Now, you can't get that online because about the most you can do, so I've been told by people that's doing it, is 6 to 8, maybe 9 in that time period, because it would take so much film and so much time online, nobody could afford to do it. I think in this deal here, Missouri is showing 8 people.
It's the same amount of hours that go live as it is online. And then, I mean, they've got a clause in here that says that it includes on-demand lectures plus daily live webinars of the online chain instructions.
Live webinars.
Yeah, whether you have to be logged in live at a certain specific time.
See the streaming.
That's what I'm saying, yes. So, I mean, it's the same, to me, that's the same as being there. I know, and again, we can chalk it up as a generational gap or whatever, I mean, but I see your point, I see what you're saying 100%. But I mean, the voices that you want to talk to us or give us their opinion or whatnot, this thing has been on the agenda, I don't know, 3-5 times now, I don't know. I mean, how long are we going to kick this can without them voicing their concern?
I know it twice it's been voted down with by a previous chairman, and it keeps being brought back up.
Because it's the future. I mean, the internet's not going away.
I didn't say it was, Jay.
But education on the internet isn't either. I mean, this is, we either
I
do it
tell you
now or
what,
we'll do it
Jay.
5 years from now and be the last state in the union to do it. I mean, that's.
So what? If you are the last damn state in the union, what's that got to do with the price?
It's got nothing to do with it other than the fact that nothing's
All
going to
you
change.
want to be is the first chairman, the first damn state in the
It's got nothing to do with me, Mr. Sims. Not a thing.
You said you want, you, the first
I
remark you
wanna-
made to me was, I want to be progressive and be the first to do it. You told us.
As a
that 2
state,
years
not
ago.
me.
I
As a
didn't
state.
say you
I would,
personally.
I would like to hear from other people in the state. I think that they should have some skin in the game, not just me, not just Mr. Sims, not just you. and to see what they think, because right now, Louisiana, I think is well recognized with regard to their teaching and their auctioneers, and I wanna make sure that we can keep that. I mean, I'm ready to vote unless somebody else has something to say.
I tell you what, let's do, I'm gonna make a suggestion. Sandy can send a letter, every licensed auctioneer in the state, and let them take a vote, let her vote. And let it come back, this whole board sets this committee to look at it.
I would be interested in that.
I think that way we cut and dry this and see what the auctioneers in the state think about it, see how they feel.
Right.
Because I'm gonna tell you, whatever auctioneer I've talked to north of Alexandria has told me, quote unquote, they don't care who it is. It's nothing but a diploma mill.
And I think the ones in my
That's
area.
the word used, diploma mill. I move it be taken until we get some kind of survey back from the licensed auctioneer.
And I would second that. I would second that.
I hate to keep dragging this out, Jacob, but I want to be fair to you too. And that's why I'm doing this, because everybody up there done told me how to vote. North of Alexandria.
I second the motion.
So we're gonna table this thing to January and get votes from other auctioneers around the state.
Well, I don't know that we can table, we gotta table until we can get the votes from other auctioneers.
I
I don't think we
think
can do
it
that by
would be
January.
sensible, and I think it would be a better situation if it was tabled today and give Sandy 120 days to get it out and get it back. Now, that's fair. That's fair to everybody. Huh?
How about if we email it?
Some people may not have some computers, they may not be able to do it.
Well, for the people who do receive it by email for those who don't
Right.
mail it. I think 120, I like the idea. I think 120 days is too long. I would say.
Well, I mean, that would be the mark, you know. I don't think you can do it, because some of it's going to be, some of it's going to go to US mail.
It takes a week to get typed up, 2 days tops to get ready
But
to
you
go.
got the holidays.
And you
coming.
got-
You
A lot of people are on
holidays.
state for holidays, so they're doing stuff.
So, we're looking at the delta of it, of the total population doesn't matter. I think, because I've been in situations like this before, we can't keep dragging, waiting on other people, but at some point in time, the buck will have to stop with us.
I agree.
And so,
And I want to make this clear, I'm not totally against this.
oh no, I don't think that you are. And
I got no mind about it, and I don't mind doing anything being progressive as long as the law allows it. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Right.
I took an oath in this, when I took this seat, I took an oath that I would abide by the Constitution and the laws of the state of Louisiana. Period, paragraph. And I don't think it's in the law. And that's where my position is. If it was in the law, you wouldn't have a word kicked about me. You wouldn't hear a word out of me because it's not in the law. If it was, I wouldn't be doing it.
I understand, Mr. Sims. Mr. Warren?
I mean, if,
If you want to try
no,
to do it
we can table, I mean, the board is gonna vote, majority's gonna win, whatever the case may be. But, you know, majority of the vote, but I want to, whether it's yes, no, table it, whatever the case may be, I want to see the law, and I mean, I just haven't seen it yet. I haven't been showed the law where it says this, I mean, this. So, I mean, look, I get your stance, I do, you know, just, you said you've been asked by other people to vote other ways, but I mean, I'm on the opposite end. You got people that want online education, said, man, if that would have been available for me, that would have been way more convenient. So, I mean, I'm the opposite end of that, which is fine, I have differing opinions. We obviously differ in opinion, and we're still friends at the end of the day, but again, I'm not here to try to persuade anyone or whatnot, it just, that's, I don't see why we gotta keep bringing this thing up every so often.
Mr. Warren, can I just jump in? I mean, I answer the phone at the office, and people that are calling wanting auction school, the first thing they say is, where can I go online and get it?
Thank you, sir.
The people that are coming through want it. I mean, and I don't wanna say something unpopular, but I want you guys to think about this, I can't help but say this. that people used to be MBAs live, and they now get an MBA online. They didn't go back and ask all their past graduates, do you think we should now offer it online? To me, it's very backwards thinking. But
There are very few MBAs online. If you get an MBA online, it's gonna affect your ability to get a job.
I
can
mean,
tell you.
just any
As someone who
degree.
hires quite a few people, it would affect me if someone told me they got the MBA online. I would not hire them, because that means they didn't have the fortitude to go sit in class and learn. That's like getting a paper degree with me. They would not be hired by me.
And Frank, as far as that goes, Sandy, I don't care what the people call me and think or won't. I'm representing the licensed auctioneers and the consumers of this state. I am not representing somebody that's calling and
That
crying
wants
when
a
they go
quickie
online and
degree.
get a license.
That wants a quickie degree to get to become an auctioneer real fast. It takes hard work, it takes study, and it's not easy to be an auctioneer. And frankly, I think if you're gonna get one where you just get a bill where they turn people out, this board is gonna be extremely busy.
I'll agree with that, but I think we're gonna discredit any school to assume they're not gonna be teaching the right stuff, not going to be
Well,
live webinaring with these people to hear their chant, to see face-to-face interaction. I mean, that, worst case scenario is they do, then they gotta come out, and then next thing you know, we hear there's a problem, and then they're in our realm.
and then you've already
we
approved
fine
them, and then you got, then it's
revoke
gonna be
their
really hard
license
to get them disqualified. So you have to really nip it in the butt before it happens, and if you're gonna have online schools, I think you need a lot of regulation. Just like I took the time to go ahead and work up internet auctions and give you all something that maybe the legislature would approve, and to work it that way, rather than just having someone coming up here and say, yeah, we want to go ahead and apply to Louisiana, and this is our curriculum.
I think that, you know, if we're gonna do this, it's got to be done in a uniform way. It's going to be rules and regulations put out with this board. We all want to vote on, and it's
And I
gonna
want
have
to
to
see
be
that
adhered
program, I want to
to.
look at it.
There's not
And I
gonna be
couldn't
any
with what I got.
deviate from it. One shoe's gonna fit everybody that does this.
Right,
And I mean, until
yeah.
the law change, we get some regulations in place to govern it. Right now, we have nothing.
They fall under the same laws for a school as it is. That nothing's changing but the fact of the way that they're delivering a method of school.
That's
So
the
what's
problem.
different
All we have
from,
done
what's
is-
different from these students showing up and just popping a tape in, a VHS tape into a TV, and they're sitting live, but they're watching a video? I'm sure that happened somewhere in America.
Okay, well, I mean, you know.
I don't know what that-
No, I know.
I'm ready to vote.
Well, there's public comment. Well, they may not.
If Sandy thinks she can sit here and look at me, if Sandy says she can do this and have a report ready for this board by the January meeting,
Can you do that?
I could do that. I mean, ultimately, I'm not responsible for auctioneers that don't respond.
that's correct. But I'd rather have it in writing than I have, I'm not saying, you know, I know a lot of auctioneers.
And I want to see a
got
copy of the
email.
letter that goes out.
You know, I want to see,
That
I want
should
to
be
see.
provided.
I want to see a copy of the
I
letter.
want to see
that
a
goes
copy
out. I
of
don't
the
want
letter
any
that
applicant
goes
to see
out.
one way
I
or the
don't
other.
want no ad lib, what somebody wants on two straight questions.
Right.
Let's
Yes
get
or
something
no.
typed up, we'll get it to the board first, give them 3 days to respond, yes, no, they approve, they will
Well, you
like to
can't,
see.
you gotta get more than, you mean the.
For us,
board
just
members.
us,
Okay.
yes. And then send it out. I think that, I mean,
I'd
that way everybody sees it.
I'd like 5 days to respond as a board member,
Okay.
because I'm gonna be out of town in the next few weeks.
But I mean, we got Thanksgiving coming in 2
And
weeks.
Christmas.
Then 3 weeks later, you got Christmas coming and New Year's coming. Then we got a board meeting sandwiched in between that and when Mardi Gras starts. So,
And I'm out raising money for candidates right
and,
now.
at least we'll be out of the political season for about 90 days. So,
I wanna know
if Sandy
what
can
the
do it
Louisiana
by
Auctioneer
January,
Board-
I'd say, yeah, I'll go along.
Louisiana
with
Auctioneers
that.
Association thinks about that.
Anna, now I got a question for Anna. Can you get an attorney general's opinion on this in January?
But what do you want to?
I want to know an attorney general's opinion on this on this law for the state of Louisiana. I want the attorney general to say yes or no, in his opinion, it would be legal to do this.
For the board to do it, rather
For the
than
board
putting
to do
up
it
for
rather than
legislature.
legislature.
I assume we could, I don't see
I
any reason
want
to
the
say.
attorney, you're
Wait,
not
wait.
the attorney general.
Well, no, the question is that y'all have to vote to request an attorney general's opinion to do that. It has to come from a board opinion. I see no basis because we only have one reference to the law to this event. And I just read it to you. It's up to y'all entirely.
So we would have to just call for a separate vote?
That would have to be a separate vote, the attorney.
And it's not on the agenda.
It would have to be on the agenda in order?
They have it on the agenda for you to vote on. They have told us that used to you could just, any member of the board could do it, but they've now told us that you have to have a vote of the agency, governing authority, before they will even look at it.
Motion on the floor.
I'll second. Okay, the motion I'll take on it.
The motion's to table.
That's still a vote. And any vote requires public comment.
Not on the table. I'll stand correction on that. Robert, rule of table to table. No public comment.
I have a right to interrupt their long process.
Letting us know.
Henry, it's
Chairman
okay.
is speaking to us.
You're way out of line.
Henry,
It's all right. I don't
And
get
Deputy Landry and I've had this fight before.
That's disrupting the meeting. I second Mr. Sims' motion.
Tabling it, is there a date to table to, or we doing a January date?
meeting? January, what's the meeting date?
not voted yet.
Okay.
They vote, whatever the meeting
Whatever
date
the
is,
meeting
yes.
date is.
First, second week, second, third.
That's the date down here, but I can't use it because
I'm fine on a public meetings violation if they do not allow public comment. It's that simple.
Is there any further discussion on this motion?
Y'all are not going to allow public comment?
No.
Very good.
No.
approve the board on the table.
It's a vote.
It's a vote.
It is a vote.
It's a vote. You just heard your attorney say it's a vote. Even though I got a sheriff deputy here trying to shut me down from even speaking.
It's all right.
Who's speaking?
Both of us.
1 minute each, let's go.
Go ahead.
So you want me to go first?
Well, I'll go.
Let me thank the board, Freddie Phillips, President Freddie Phillips, Auctioneer School. Very disappointed, not in the way you're doing it, but I'm very disappointed the way you're looking at it. And, you know, Mr. Warren has made a valiant point of reference that this board has not done anything. What is good is to go get an associational opinion. An associational opinion doesn't have anything to do with what you do here as a general body. And then on the second side of that is, what we're doing here is giving opportunity to those who don't have the luxury of going to a Missouri auction school like I did and spend a couple of weeks up there and spend several $1,000s. You know, and that's where the barrier of entry comes in. And then you make statements concerning fraudulent and paper mills and all these things here, where if you look at it, the problem doesn't seem to be coming from the area in which you think online education is causing, because there's no documentation. And what we are putting out there, it speaks for itself. And what Mr. Warren said, they have to come here and they have to pass a written test. And that test is what validates their credentials and their credibility. I know I wasn't up a minute just then.
That would, yes. Went over that.
Brad, I'll give a couple of seconds.
Okay, well, at the end of the day, and I think we need to be more sensible to that fact that, you know, look, we're trying to help advance the opportunities. But these barriers of entry based on opinions of people who may be pro or con, the educational future is going that way. Why do we have to always prolong these educational opportunities? And I think that's what's going on here.
Probably may have to justify because I'm a lot short. I doubt Sandy's willing to accept any kind of compliment from me, and I understand that.
I'd be happy to take any compliment. from
Well, then I'm
anyone
going to
who's
compliment you then. thank you for what you said. She's about to cry.
No, I'm not.
Okay, thank you for what you said. I deeply appreciate it. And what you said is truthful, we both know it. And I know coming from me, that may be hard to take, but thank you. Secondly, y'all can send out a letter. Everybody knows what's going to happen, okay? You're talking about sending out a letter to an organization who put this out. I'll give it to you. With regard to Reverend Phillips and the unanimous, and it's got that word in here, unanimous, we don't want him on this board. This is put out on the LEA's website, okay? So I can tell you what the reaction's going to be. It's going to be not no, but H-E-double-L, no, okay? And it's that simple. I mean, it's still out there on their website today, okay? So I know Ms. Jacobs touts her LEA membership, but you're going to send out letters asking these folks for an opinion?
Okay,
And
I didn't
will-
offer anything that you're showing to the board, and I want to see a copy of
You're
that.
welcome to see it.
Because I haven't seen it, and you're referring to it, but don't say that I offered it.
I
Because
didn't say
didn't.
you offered it. I said you have reference that you're a member of the
I am a
LEA.
member of it, I'm a proud member
I
of it.
understand that. But I have an individual email that you put out, right here,
Well,
that I'll leave. I really think this needs to be entered into the record for any consideration of this matter. Now, I will conclude by saying that this board voted against permitting us to continue what it had already permitted us to do in January. January is going to soon be up. Most attorneys know that there's 1 year period for taking action. I'm going to leave it at that. I tried to be as polite as I could be here today. But it is frustrating to hear what I know is deep-rooted sentiments about one or both of us. And you know, the reaction, you're going to waste a lot of time to send those letters out. I can already tell you it's going to be not no, but hell no. I'm sorry, H-E-double-L no. That's what it's going to be, okay? You'll spend a lot of money and you'll send it out. And I think everybody in this room, if you're honest with yourself, will know that any organization that would put out that kind of a statement, you're welcome to take a few moments to look at it, Chairman Nguyen. You know what you're going to get, okay? And so if you're going to use that as the basis, you may as well vote to deny that at least our school or his school, you may as well vote to deny it now, okay? But I would submit that Ms. Edmonds is correct. There's a broader universe to consider here. And if anyone, I mean, we were asked to provide the curriculum, we did that. We were asked to provide links for the online instruction, we did that. Okay, and so if anybody wants to say they've been to those links and challenge me on the content, I'll be happy to accept your criticism, and I want to make an effort to fix it. But that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing just a generic, this ain't gonna work.
we're not on his auction, you know, so that's something I want to say.
Missouri.
Y'all were gonna table both. If I misunderstood and you weren't tabling both, I was under the impression you were tabling.
We're just doing Missouri only.
We're doing Missouri, not Craig.
Well, okay, I'm sorry, I thought y'all had wrapped them all together, but.
But we'll take the minute.
Don't worry,
How's that?
That's all right.
That's your minute for the next one. You got
That's
anything
fine.
Missouri only?
Yeah, I'll take the consolidated 2 minutes and we'll call it a day. Thank you.
All right. All right, so we got table 2, January, we got motion. Do a roll call.
Are you ready? All right, so the motion is to table until January. Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Jacobs,
Yes.
Mr. Lockett,
Yes.
Mr. Sims,
Yes.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
Mr. White.
No. All right. Motion passes. All right, the next one will be the Freddie Lee Phillips School of Auctioneering. Seems like we've already had the discussion about online and pre-licensing education, or, I guess
Oh,
distance
I have some
learning.
questions I would like to ask Mr. Phillips, and is it open for discussion or not?
Sure.
On the school, Mr. Phillips?
I make a motion to consider the previous student, that way if they're on the board meeting.
Couldn't hear.
Well, what's the motion?
Still discuss Freddie Scoot.
Yeah, I'll second that motion. Can I ask you a
That's what's on the
question?
agenda, though. There's no motion needed.
Yeah, it's on the agenda. Mr. Phillips, I have some questions.
I have no.
You don't want to answer any questions?
Ma'am, I provided everything that's pertinent to the
Okay, you're not gonna
information
answer
of the
any
school.
questions. Okay.
When you get to the vote, I want to make public comments in regards to what I've submitted to be entered into records.
Any comment about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have some questions of Reverend Phillips, but he apparently doesn't want to.
No, I don't. But, Mr. Chairman, I did submit documentation that I would ask an attorney's advice that Ms. Jake recuse herself from any voting. I'm just asking the recommendation, but I submitted the information right there, saying I want to read into record or either enter into record, doesn't matter, on my position with Ms.
What, you talking about the packet you sent over in
Yes,
email?
no, the two letters that are out here now.
You didn't submit it.
The
No,
two
no.
letters, just so you know, I gave the board each a copy of the email that
No,
you
ma'am,
sent me.
this is what Mr. Sims, I think we just passed them out, that's what they were saying.
I just handed.
What Robert gave us.
Correct.
Robert gave you.
Nobody should have them.
Yeah, they right here. These are the two
So
that are right.
those, I'm sorry,
Yes, ma'am.
I thought you were referring to what you sent us.
So I was confused.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but that's the only thing I want to say. I mean, we submitted everything, and everything is put in black and white. There's no reason for me to have to ask any questions or answer. Thank you, sir. But I let the record speak that I did ask Mr. Jacobs to recuse herself from having anything to do with this vote.
Freddie, could I ask you a question, please? If it's a question, direct question for clarification of some of your points in your submittal, would you be so kind to answer those?
In regards to what?
If somebody's got a technical question with the submittal you made to the board in your auction school, if somebody's got a question about some part of the submittal, would you answer the question?
Well, Mr. Sims, let me just say this, and
I
Mr.
don't
Chairman.
hear no generic answer.
No, this is not generic answer, but if there were questions,
Yes,
yes, sir. If you have any questions,
Nobody, I'm asking the question.
listen to me, I'm gonna answer you. And you can put them in writing, and I'll respond in writing, just like I did when I submitted the information. So for clarification purposes, submit it in writing to me, so that way it can be sent from the board in clarification to what the board is asking, and then I'll respond. That's the proper way to do this. That's
You're not
how,
gonna answer anything in the public meeting.
sir,
Is that what, now I want to hear you
He's saying
say,
no.
are you gonna answer a question in a public meeting? That's what I want to know.
I refuse it.
If you would like, at his request, we're going to submit those to him later on. We can submit them
No,
right
no,
now.
you don't want to answer my questions, I'm not going to do it. I kept an open mind on this and studied this,
Move the table this one.
Yeah. and I second that motion.
Motion second. We're going to have to roll call that. You guys want 1 minute on this one?
Mr. Chairman, I've stated my position, and my position still stands. Like I said before, I'll say again, look, I appreciate the consideration, but at this juncture, it seems as though we're hell-bent on stopping the future of the industry from going forward. And that's only because of this Flintstone age approach.
Do I still get 20 seconds? That's all I need.
I don't think we're hell-bent on stopping. I'm going to disagree with you there.
I didn't say, I said,
I think we just want to make sure it's right before it progresses. I think that's the stance of a couple of the board members. I don't think the board as a whole is hell-bent on stopping. So I'm just going to correct you with that. That's all I'm saying.
well, let me say this,
No,
Mr. Chairman.
we're good.
No, I'm just saying in regards to that, we provide in-class education now. So it's no more than extensions of giving people a break to be able to come to their convenience and get the same education. So we've done what we're supposed to do, and our curriculum stands above and in high range. Our test scores prove what we say based on what we provide. And that's what you should go by.
Do I get 20 seconds or no? It doesn't matter.
Sure.
The last thing I'll say is that, I agree that an Attorney General's opinion would be a great idea, a fantastic idea. That opportunity has been available, as you've said, for about a year, you know, and it may require a vote of the board, but let me say this, I am extremely comfortable with putting this in front of Attorney General Jeff Landry and having him issue an opinion. I'll conclude
Is
it with
that
that.
because you gave him a bunch of money, Robert?
No, come on, it's not got nothing to do with that.
You jumped up for me.
All right, let's go. This is good.
Come on, Rob.
Come on, Rob.
We'll talk
For
to
your
you.
information, for full disclosure, yes, I did give approximately $1,500 to Jeff Landry's campaign.
Perfect. This has got to do with the school of auction.
I was more or less being facetious.
But I doubt he's gonna make a decision of this magnitude based on a lousy $1,500. But I do admire Jeff Landry, I don't mind saying that, but I'm comfortable with that. Now, yeah, you gave a lot more, you gave a whole lot more.
How do you know what I gave you?
Because I looked it up.
Stop looking at my finances. It's got nothing to do
What do
with
you
you.
mean? It's a public record. I can't look up your public financials. Yeah, you gave about $15,000 to be exact.
People a lot of money that
Let's vote.
I didn't start that discussion.
You all can have that discussion in the hallway, not in this meeting.
The motion is to table this until the January, or the Freddie Lee Phillips School of Auctioneering until the January meeting. Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Ms. Jacobs?
Yes.
Mr. Lockett?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Hill?
No.
Mr. Warren?
No.
4-2.
Motion passes. All right. On to the next one. We've got online auctions. I think you proposed something
I
for the
proposed
law.
something, but of course, I got to see consideration of it. The legislature has to look at this, and then I want to give it to the Louisiana Auctioneers Association, just get their comments on it. Because that's the way I think things like this should be done. And I'm
So-
giving it first to Terry, because Terry's in law school, to let him come in on it. And then anybody else that would want to add something to it, it's fine. And then I think we can work from there.
Is this, at this point in time, Sandy or Anna, is this the only thing we've got right now?
I made a proposal to the board a year and a half
That's right,
ago.
that's right.
This, I've looked through this, I'm not sure it coordinates with our current statute. Matter of fact, it appears to be, you got this from Kentucky?
From Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Not all of it from Pennsylvania, but I have taken it from other
Because
jurisdictions.
there's a reference here to public law 1080.
Well, that's got to come out of that. That's
Yeah, I
a
think
specific
because a lot of
state.
this,
Yeah.
it's very simple what we have to do. Was not, I wouldn't say it's simple, my recommendation, auctioneers right now, there's no restriction on online, that eBay's provision amended auction house, not auctioneers. We can actually fix that by regulation is one option. We can also go to the legislature and specify specifically that we can regulate online auctions. Some of what you have in here, as a matter of fact, is what I suggested a year and a half ago. So the statute actually turns over all of our functions to the state of Louisiana, which means we have no control of it. And I cannot recommend that because it would allow them to take all of our money and basically put us out.
Well, that's why I'm giving it to you all, because I want people to comment on it.
It just looks to be somebody else's statute that hasn't been updated to it.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to change the whole statute anyway. So I think what you've got in here with regard to how to change the definition, I'm not sure about televised auctions, that's going to be an issue. Like televised auction is under our statute. Phone visitors are under our statute right now. Also, so phone is internet, online, that is not simulcast are our issue. And our main issue right now with enforcing it is actually the problem that we have with our auction house legislation. Not only has eBay come in and said, you know, if it's an eBay style auction house, we can't regulate it, but we require auction houses to have an individual auctioneer calling it. If you have your computer actually doing the bidding, accepting bidding, etc., the computer is acting as the live auctioneer, and we need to resolve that in our statute more than we do the rest of this. Because that's the problem I'm running into. That is actually the factual problem. We're now enforcing internet auctions. some of the people you see come for us and ask for licensing are in online auctions that do not have local. I'm telling them to at least get an auction house license in this case. That's our problem, because we have no licensed auction to do that, because they don't need one. That is a functional problem. Pennsylvania, to some extent, is trying to resolve this. And I think that's a decision the board needs to make, just to go to the legislature and again, the definitions of auction house and auction to include specifically anything having to do with online or internet-based without live simulcast auctions. And let me say this, I shouldn't say it's all that simple either, because you get into it, we have to define what's a platform and what's not a platform.
Why don't you give me your suggestions if you can?
Yeah, I gave them to you about a year and a half ago, but I'll
Okay,
get
write them
right
down and then let me, and I'm looking for suggestions from other people. And then we'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah, I'll give you the same memo. I've updated it to include the issue of a licensed auctioneer is what we said.
What was y'all talking about when you came back to Lola about these online auctions?
The fact that,
Didn't you say y'all were gonna incorporate some of that into the rules that y'all wanted to do?
I made a suggestion to you to amend our rules to allow some of the definitions to be more specific. We have actually, surprisingly, not defined auction in our regulations ever. And I think that's our opportunity to go ahead and be more specific and do it, for which we don't need to go to the legislature. I would prefer it be done in the bill, but that's something we need to start working on. To define auction to include online auction.
What's the latest we can get something in the legislature?
We would need to have it ready to go January.
Well, the session's not late.
Right, but you have to, they refund, and you have to get some of the sponsoring.
it's a budget year.
Yeah, so you have to get it early or else.
You're only allowed 5 bills a
Right.
piece. It's not budget, right?
That's correct.
So we need to have something put together and ready to go for January.
I'll be glad to
Yeah,
send
send me
my
what you
memo.
gave me before, and I'm ready to give you all
Can
these.
you get it, send it out to us for the January meeting so we can see it?
I sent you the
It was good, it's got a couple of things.
Yeah, well, that's why I gave it to you. I want to see what y'all think.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and send that out.
And is the pre-file deadline different for the 5 non-germane bills since it's a budget, it will be a budget session? Is it later than what it should?
There's a deadline, but then it's one similar in the sense that there's a deadline after the start to get everything in. The problem is that most people want to get their 5 bills set
Right,
up
yeah.
before and get that done. But they can hold off, and if they have another bill, and we can't style this as a fee bill.
Okay.
I don't know the deadline after the start.
Oh, no, I mean, we can
But
look it up.
you can look at what the legislature has.
Right. I'm just thinking about, I was just asking that question, because whatever actions we take and we find a sponsor, then they may want to, we may go back and forth for a little bit as far as
Yeah.
particular language.
And again, we can approach, we have a certain number of legislators who are interested in the auction industry, who we can approach already and say, we want to do something like this.
Okay.
And if we approach them along the lines of, we want to be able to protect people who go online and specify it well enough to make sure it just affects Louisiana residents, I think legislators would be fine with it. Because if we go too broad, then there's a problem dedicated to some legislators with regard to online transactions. With the sales tax thing kicking in also, I think it's going to come up again in the legislature. Now that sales tax can be collected on online sales, I think this is all going to be, we may be able to tack on to that bill, depending on how it works.
Okay.
The internet auction memo that Anna wrote was just forwarded to each of you.
Here we go now.
I just forwarded to your
Oh,
email.
thank you.
It's in your inbox.
Well, I got it.
Good.
So we need a motion, I guess, to take it to January.
Yes.
Mr. Sims. Mr. Gill.
Yes.
Mr. Warren.
Yes. Motion passes. Next one is a fun one. Everybody pull out your calendars.
There's a calendar in your packet.
Yeah,
You said that first.
yeah, it's a color calendar.
I
Well,
move
these are
to
the
go to
proposed
the
dates.
dates that she's got listed.
I'm pretty much stuck with how we did it this year, just taking into account, I think we moved Mardi Gras. Just we weren't meeting the day before Mardi Gras.
So the next meeting is the 14th then, of January.
If you guys vote that in, yes.
Isn't that Valentine? No, that's not
No, it's
Valentine.
February.
That's just-
I move that the meetings for January 14th, March 11th, May 6th, July 8th, September 9th, November 4th be the board meeting dates for 2019.
Okay.
Those in favor?
Um,
Any further discussion we need to have on these dates? Nobody opposed? Motion? That's it? Okay.
So March the 11th is going to be.
The week after,
Yeah,
the week
okay,
after Mardi Gras.
Thank you.
Yep. Motion passes. So the next meeting date will be January 14th.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Second, roll call.
No, an adjourn.
Be it put.
An adjourn is when you
Yes.
have to walk away after roll call.
Yeah.
Yes.